Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. So first off, I'm going to start with using my Eco Styler and my toothbrush to do my edges. And I mix my Eco Styler with a little bit of the Gatsby glue, so that's why it may look a little bit white whenever I put it on my edges. But I'm just going to use those and make like a swooping motion to my edges, and I'm just going to do that all around and then tie it up with my scarf. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and feel if my face mask is dry or not. And it's a peel off mask, so I'm just going to go ahead and move my face around a little bit and try to just peel off that off. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse off the residue and continue on with my skincare. So I'm going to go ahead and use my witch hazel and a cotton round, and I'm just going to be using that to go ahead and just tone my face and also kind of get a little deeper in like the cleaning. And yeah. So now I'm going to go ahead, let that dry a little bit, and then moisturize. I'm going to be using the Pond's Dry Skin Cream to moisturize, and I'm going to mix that with a little bit of the bio oil and rub that on my face and make sure that it's all absorbed. Alright, so now for the fun part. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever primer, the step 1, in order to prime my face. And I really like this primer because it really keeps my makeup matte for the entire day and also helps it to just stay on for the whole day. And I just recently started using it for maybe about like a week now, and I really like it, and I think I'm gonna probably repurchase it whenever I'm done because it's just that good. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. Usually whenever I'm doing my makeup, I start my eyebrows first. I'm going to be using the NYX Tame Frame and the second darkest shade. And then I'm going to take my flat angled brush. And most of my brushes are from Vanity Planet. I'm going to take my spoolie brush from e.l.f. And I'm just going to be using that one and just brushing my brow in place first. After I brush my brow in place, I go ahead and dip the angled brush into the pomade and flatten it out with my fingers a little bit, as you see, as I did there. And I'm gonna go ahead and start at the tail first. If you want to see more in-depth video on my brows, then I can do that for you guys. But I'm just gonna give you guys a little rundown. After I do my tail, I'm just gonna go in and fill in the middle to the end of my brow. And then I work on the front of my brows the last because I like to have the ombre effect. I go ahead and line the top and the bottom of my brows. Whenever I'm lining the top part, I don't line the whole thing. I line about halfway, if that's making sense. And then I go ahead and create some upward strokes in the front of my brow, as you see I'm doing there, to create more of a natural hair-like effect. So after I do that, because I like to have the ombre effect on my brows, I'm going to go ahead and brush up the front of my brows to make it a little bit lighter and take some of the product off of the front. Now I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing to my other brow. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the LA Pro Concealer and the shade Toffee, and I'm going to be lining up the bottom and the outer top tail part of my brow, just to make sure that my brows are nice and clean, fix any mistakes that I made, and make sure that my tail is as sharp as possible. After that, I'm going to go ahead and take a small concealer brush, also from Vanity Planet, and just blend the concealer downwards and then outwards so that it blends into my skin. So now that I've finished my eyebrows, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eyeshadow. I do my eyeshadow before my face makeup just because it gives my eye makeup a cleaner effect. So in order to prime my lids, I'm gonna be using the NYX eyeshadow base, and I'm gonna just apply that onto my lids with my fingers and also blend it out with my fingers as well. So I'm going to be taking my Juvia's Place palette, and I'm going to be using the light orange shade and putting that at the outer part of my eye, more like in the crease and the outer V, and just blend that everywhere, and that's going to act as a transition shade. Now, reason why I did a voiceover instead of a walkthrough tutorial is because usually whenever I'm doing my makeup, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So doing a voiceover is easier because I've already done the look and I already know what I'm going to do. In this video, or in this footage that you're seeing, I really had no idea what I was doing, but my makeup did turn out pretty good. After I do that, I'm going to be taking a more concentrated brush and taking a dark brown shade from the palette and putting that right into the outermost part of the V, shaping my eye and just darkening up my eyes just a little bit to add some definition and depth. Now in this footage, all I'm doing is just dragging out that brown into my crease a little bit more to just darken everything up, and I'm doing a lot of blending. The key to having a nice eyeshadow is to blend. Whether you use one shade for your whole eye or 20 shades, the key is to blend so that it looks nice and effortless and all the colors transition perfectly with each other. So then I'm taking a flat brush and I'm going to go ahead and take that same concealer that I used to clean up my brows. I'm going to place it onto the back of my hand and take the flat brush and dip it in, and I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease. Usually when I do cut crease, I only cut about half of my eye because it just looks the best for my eye shape personally. Sometimes I do a full cut crease, but I usually don't. I'm going to go ahead and start lining the concealer a little bit above my eyelid. Now I especially have to do this because my eyes are small, so if I only line to where my eyelid was and then I would still open my eyes or blink, the concealer would go ahead and just transfer on the upper part of my eye, which is what a lot of people have trouble with. So in order to prevent that from happening, you want to line above where your eyelid actually starts so that you don't get any color transferring where it doesn't need to be transferred. After I do that on both eyelids, I'm going to go ahead and take a shimmery orange shade from that same palette, and I'm going to be patting that on with a brush. Also in some parts, I'm going to just go ahead and use my pinky to really make sure that that color is blended out pretty evenly, because this palette is very pigmented, so using the brush, I didn't want to like pack on a lot of color and not have it evenly distributed on all parts of the concealer part of my eye. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to take the same brown shade and go ahead and just blend the eyeshadow part with the concealed part of my eye to just kind of blend the two so that I don't really have a harsh line, and I'm going to be doing this with both of my eyes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some eyeliner. The eyeliner that I'm using here is the Sex Kitten eyeliner by Tarte, and I'm just gonna be doing a wing to both of my eyes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and color correct with my LA Pro concealer in the reddish shade, and I don't do this every time I do my makeup, but whenever I'm doing a fuller face I do it, and I just decided to do it for the sake of this video as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fenty concealer stick, and this is really full coverage, so if you use this you don't have to use foundation, but because in this video I'm showing you guys a full face, I'm going to be using both, and mine is in the shade Suede. Before I blend this concealer out, I'm going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray to spray on my beauty blender to make the products a little easier to blend out, since my primer was really matte and the concealer is really matte as well. Now I'm going to be using the Fenty foundation. I only have the sample at the moment, so that's why I showed you guys the sample bag. But I'm just going to be using that on top of the concealer. Now I'm going to be using the cream contour from my BH Cosmetics Concealer Compact, and I'm using the darkest shade. For concealer, I'm going to use the Age Rewind by Maybelline under my eyes and on my chin. I'm taking kind of a stiff brush to blend out my contour, and I'm going to blend it to the side, and I'm going to blend it upwards to make my cheekbones a little more defined. Then I'm just going to blend my concealer out with the tip of my beauty blender. To set my concealer, I'm going to be using the powder by Maybelline under my eyes and under my chin, and then to define my contour, I'm going to place that right under my contour as well. Now I'm going to be using the Fit Me Press powder in a dark shade to go ahead and set my contour, and I'm setting the contour that I already put, and then I'm going to go ahead and bronze up under my chin, around my chin, and then my forehead. Now I'm going to be doing my blush. I'm using the Blush Volume 2 palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to be using the orangey warm shade on my cheeks. Now moving on to the highlight. I usually use a fan brush for my highlight, and there's two highlighters that I use. The first one is from ColourPop, from the QAF palette, and it's the golden shade. I either use that or I use the golden palette from the Juvia's Place palette that I used for my eyes. And I usually get a lot of compliments on my highlighter and questions asking me if I use the Trophy Wife. So now it's time for mascara, but this part isn't important because that's not my favorite mascara anyways, and I would rather use falsies, so just ignore that. So now the look is almost finished. I'm going to be moisturizing my lips first with Carmex, then I'm going to be using some Fenty gloss. To set my face, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and after that the look is done. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys like my video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on social media. And thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you guys in my next video.